Everyone get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to another IS-4 replay. This is actually one that came from the stream, and I'm with Circon, who's in the Object 268, and Versi, who's in his E100. And this is actually, it's a fairly, it's, I was going to say average, it's on the high end of average. It's a decent match, but there's one particular thing that happens in this match that's meant I decided to actually show it to you guys and gals. It's not a particularly exciting match otherwise, but I guess it's reasonable. I do a reasonable amount of damage and I get a reasonable score, but it's not like anything particularly super amazing happens. It's just there is a particularly interesting part of the match, and you will know it when you see it. So, it's Mountain Pass. This is an 8.8 replay, I should say, and this is with Gnomefathers. So, the majority of you seem to have liked, or, at worst, you've been indifferent to the Gnomefathers sound pack, so I'm going to keep using it. I've had I think 2 replays up with it so far, a couple in between that didn't have it used. I'm off on a good start tonight. A couple of replays that haven't used it in between because obviously there's a delay in me recording and editing and uploading and then posting and etc etc. So yeah, but yeah, the majority of you either don't mind or like it, so I'm going to keep using it basically. And some matches the in-game sounds might be quite low because the sound levels for when you're actually inside the scoped in, the shell noises can be quite loud, so it's harder getting the sound levels right, but I like it enough that I'm going to stick with using it. Anyway, there's a match going on, I went to watch the bridge side because basically no one else was, and yes, there's something there, and he shot me, and even when he shot me, I couldn't actually spot him, so that's always fun. So I just tried a blind shot. It was exactly 400 damage, and I'm not sure what that would have been. The T-54 maybe. Except the T-54 is on the other flank, so one of the IS-8s? I don't know. I might even been a Leo 1, but I don't know what the gun is off the top of my head. The alpha damage of that thing is. So yeah, I'm in a position at the moment where I can basically help out either flank, and I'm stopping. Somebody spotted me and they know I'm here, so there's that kind of that deterrent, as it were, that. They know I'm here, and hopefully they won't try and push They won't try and push across the bridge, or across the bridge, even. But look at the minimap right now. The glacier, it's not going so well. It was 3 versus 3, 3 versus 2, and it's now 2 versus 3, and there's a tortoise in the background and a 5120. So I decide to make a move, and I'm actually going to speed it up at this point because there's quite a lot of me just driving around in this match. It's one of the reasons why I wouldn't have picked it ordinarily. If it hadn't had that one moment, I think I would have just thought, okay, this is a decent match, but it's not really YouTube worthy. But anyway, so yes, along to the glacier. That Conqueror has been a bit beaten up, but he's basically been forced into doing close quarters combat with other tier 9 tanks. But the IS-7's in good shape. I've arrived, I'm in pretty good shape. Our arty has decided to go TD mode for some reason. There's a nice snapshot into the IS-8 there. Yeah, I don't know what, I think our arty was just feeling particularly, full of bravado that day. So, reloaded just in time, low plate of the Conqueror, very nice. IS-8's down, and I think if I hadn't turned up they would have been able to rush this IS-7, so that was, I think, the right choice on my part. The IS-8 I'm pretty sure would have died anyway, but who knows. The IS-7 actually might have been okay on its own. Who knows. And you can see on the minimap there, D5, there's actually D4 even, there's a trace for a leopard, so I'm pretty sure it was the leopard that shot me. He figured out that I wasn't there anymore. And yeah, so I could drive back the way I came, but there's actually a lot of stuff in the middle there, and there's only 3 tanks defending. So yeah, I initially decide I'm going to turn back, I'm going to go and help out, and then I just change my mind because I'm so decisive, you guys. So let's fast forward a little bit again because, yeah, I know I don't usually fast forward in my games, but there's a lot more driving in this one than is usual. So, oh, and there's an IS-7 that's with that PTA, so that's not so good actually. So now my decision to come along here is not looking so smart. The IS-7 is just going towards their cap. I don't quite know why, but yeah, he wanted me to go with him, and I think if I had, we would have lost, and you will see why. So the Leo one is down. The IS-8 and the Shoe Tank are tangling with each other. IS-7 whereabouts unknown, but I assumed he was going to go for the cap. There he is. So I think, yeah, IS-8's fairly low health. If I can take out the Shoe Tank and then concentrate on the IS-7, that'll be a good thing to do. I'm slightly wary of getting shot in the back here, but they were all, you can see Versi there. Circon died unfortunately already at this point, but the other flank, you know, they were all very much concentrated on what was going on there. And it's 9-9, it's pretty even at the moment. I really have to take out this guy and then take out that IS-7 because we might get capped out, and wouldn't that be damn annoying? Especially in this kind of situation where it's so even. Yep, there he is, he's capping. I've got some breathing space because it's just one person capping, so let's not panic yet. He's actually then gone off the cap, presumably to look for the artillery. The Batchat has wisely stayed hidden up there. He could actually have come down to my side, but there we go. Shoe Tank down, but he chose not to. Versi is unfortunately has copped it, but the IS-7 and the T-95 are taking care of business. The Doom Turtle, the raid boss, has done pretty well in this one. So that's the arty down, but yeah, it's gonna be IS-4 versus IS-7, and oh boy, I wish I could use some music here because I'm kind of if I had the wherewithal to be able to use music, I would just put up Duel of the Fates and just not say anything, but I don't have the rights to use that, so it's just going to have to be me talking instead. So, round one, not so good. I just took a big hit from that guy, and so now he's got more. Well, actually, no, we're about even on hit points because bear in mind I went into this with the hit point advantage. The IS-4 actually gets more hit points, and now I've put a shot into him, and that just goes wide of his lower front plate, which is kind of annoying. He decides, right, screw it, let's not play peekaboo. He decides to actually come for me. Another one into his lower front plate, and he's actually smart enough to know that if I, you know, if he sits back, if he lets me just keep hitting his lower front plate, he's probably not going to come well out of that. So he actually decides to get up close and personal, and now we're in a clinch, and now things get interesting. Our IS-7 is, I don't know why, capping, but yeah. I suppose it was the sensible thing to do. No one was going to get back in time, and if I died, and this IS-7 started capping first, that would have been it, game over, so nope. Hatch says no, and I took a big hit there, which is not very nice. I kept trying to shoot the space underneath his gun mantle, and you can see there he's wiggling his ring off. Hatch says no, and oh, this is getting serious, you guys. I could not get that gap under his mantlet at all. I didn't have enough gun depression to hit the driver's hatch, so yeah, that went into the mantlet. And I'm blocking his shots quite well. He's managed to put, what, 1, 2 into me? The T-95 is trying to come back, and bam! There we go! Just as I was loading the HE shells out of desperation, I actually nailed him. I'm not quite sure, I don't know if it penetrated the... I don't know how that shot went in, but it did. It like bounced off into the hull, or it just happened to pen that lip of the turret, or I don't know, but I'm not going to complain. I walked away from that one. IS-4 was victorious. Yeah, so it was an okay match otherwise. I got a higher score than Versi somehow, even though he did more than, not more, well, slightly less than 1,000 more damage than me. But I got 1k, wow, 100 more XP. If I'd gotten 1k more XP, that would have been impressive. Overall, that was okay. 3.6k damage, just over 1k XP without premium. With premium, it was 1500. With my daily double, it was actually over 5. Daily treble, even, it was during an event. It was over 5,000. Potential damage 5k, pretty reasonable. And like I said, it was an okay all-round match, and I don't think I would have shown you it if it hadn't been for that one specific, the end basically. If it hadn't come down to me versus an IS-7 and imaginary John Williams Star Wars music blaring away in my head as it was happening, I probably would have just shrugged my shoulders and said, yeah, that was good, let's move on. But I don't know. I thought that might be of interest to everyone to see that, how an IS-4 versus an IS-7 really could work out. And I think it was kind of luck in the end that got me that last shot, because I was loading the HE in desperation. But yeah, I think I was doing the sensible thing there, keeping him at a distance as much as I could, and putting the shots in his lower front plate. He closed the distance, and at that point, all bets were off. So, if you are ever in that situation, you know what to do. If you're in the IS-7, you close the distance. If you're in the IS-4, you try and keep your distance. So, there you go, top tip. So if you liked this video, you can hit the like button, you can leave a comment, you can subscribe to my channel, you can go check out my Facebook page, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.